All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Kudash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well, while not this truth from, and citation out there to the hopeful elect, who continue to push this word and our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And today, man, just basically touching on Esau. He's aware of his judgments, man. It's not like the Lord have Esau foreign into the things that's ahead or in the future concerning his life and his placement, man. Because even though he's on top right now, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is finna get ready to debase this proud man. You know, this guy was once wearing, $2 million suits. You know, this guy foot never touched the ground. If he wanted to go into a summer climate, he got a villa down there in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? If you want a winter climate, he have a bunker somewhere in Greenland. And for the lack of better words, this guy have been ruling upon the planet Earth with all this technology, with all this weaponry, and ultimately, the Edomites that's not in the know, you will think, yeah, man, this guy, he's okay guy, for the lack of better words. This guy, he's living it up. He don't have nothing to worry about. But the only thing that the Lord is doing, he's setting him up for the get-go, man. You know? And a part of the Lord setting him up from the get-go is letting this guy ride upon that high horse. You know, this guy's head is lifted above the skies, but the Lord, he's finna debase this guy, man. You know, he's finna bring this guy down, man. You know? Let me get some real quick. Because ultimately, this guy, he have exalted himself even above the Most High. This guy actually put his face as being Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. This guy actually, you go to church, for the lack of better words, and you see what? You see a so-called white man with long, stringly hair, with blue eyes, and he said, yeah, this is the power. Not knowing that, in the book of Daniel and in the book of Revelations and in the book of Songs of Solomon, all throughout the scriptures, it describes the color of the Lord, man. But again, these people are so proud, they looked over there. Let's read this real quick. This is the book of Matthew 23 and 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And this guy have been exalted unto the hills here in this lifetime. Continuing on, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted, because it's going to be an ultimate flipping of roles, man, a transitioning of kingdoms. And again, we're in this kingdom as slaves. No matter if you do got a good job, you still have a social security number. You still obligated to follow the laws of America, man. But guess what? Esau is going to have to suffer the same thing when it comes to our kingdom. And what's that called? It's called irony, but it's also called true justice. And he ain't like this devil ever hold back when it came to putting hell upon Jake, man. During the 80s, the crack pandemic, the 90s gangster rap, this guy even tapped into psychological warfare to our people, man. So how much more is we're going to do unto them? And it also tells us that in Galatians 6 and 7, how everything this man sowed is the same thing that he's going to reap from. And the only thing that he sowed upon the planet Earth was damn death and destruction. And it's about time for this guy to get his judgment, and he's going to get it very soon. And this is why these elites have different operations, Operation Warp Speed and operations what to do when the missiles come, to try to preserve their life or even preserve their kingdom, not knowing that you're still going to have to play the lot of a damn servant, man. That's what the Lord actually built you guys for, but he, being a just power, he let you reign here in this time. The Lord, he's not a unmerciful power that's just going to let you burn in hell for all eternity. No, the Lord going to give you a chance to mess up just so he can have a reason to bring the hammer down on you. So let's read this real quick in the book of Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies. On them that hate thee which persecuted thee. So the curses that was written on upon us, in Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, cursed shall I be in the city, cursed shall I be in the field. You shall go into Egypt again with ships into captivity. You know what I'm saying? Your storehouses and your bread houses should not fill up, roughly paraphrasing. All the things that was brought upon us will be brought upon all these other nations, man, and especially the nation of Esau. Because the reason why he was the mind, the mastermind of bringing us down and even forwarding the affliction. Let's get that too in the book of Zechariah. Because at the end of the day, he the one that introduced Ishmael and Ham. All had a part of the slave trade, but guess who funded it, man? Only thing that these Edomites did was just push forth the money and had the plan and let the heathens run it out. And that's what the heathens are really meant for. Because the two main characters is Jacob and Esau. Because it's not like in the kingdom of heaven that these damn heathens are going to be able to do the things that we're doing. But at the same time, they're going to know the difference between this guy being in power and us being in power. But so let's get this real quick before we continue on. It says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. So the Lord was already displeased at the ways of the heathen, man. Worshiping these different idols. You know what I'm saying? Doing these unsanitary, not unsanitary, yeah, unsanitary and unruly things when it comes to worshiping, Because even you go into the heathens, the way, you lay down, prostrate yourself, and you pray to the Lord, you face the east, you go on a fast. That's the way we show our power and reverence. But the way these other people do it is insane, man. Popping each other, and again, um, unruly things. We ain't got to go into it. But let's go ahead and continue on, because those unruly things, you introduce Jake unto it, man. Again, that's a part of this psychological warfare. Now people were saying, where was God during the slavery? Not knowing that during the slavery, man, Jake was the most religious, man. Jake had the most hope. And the reason why, because they knew they needed to be saved. Right now, Jake don't know they need to be saved. Why? Because you was brainwashed to think that this society is okay. You was brainwashed to think that damn people smoking cigarettes around you, pork cooking in the background, and it's a man with another man all in the same house, man. People say that's the norm now, and the reason why is because we have fallen from grace, we are fallen from righteousness, and we ultimately fell from our power. And the Lord is teaching us the perfect example of what not to do. And that perfect example is who? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So let's read this again. I am very so displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Yes, man. Introducing different type of philosophies, transgender. You know what I'm saying? And even that, it's polyamory, and I forgot, it's a woman version of polyamory, which basically means a woman got a whole bunch of men. And black women been doing that for years. They ain't just have a name for it, but that brings confusion because the woman's pregnant. Nobody know who the father is, man. But at the same time, Yahweh Shema Shah is doing all these things because the Lord, he's in control, just so he can have a reason to destroy Esau. Because you have to realize, just not in this lifetime have this guy been racking up iniquities and racking up evil things. No, man. Even when you go back into the beginning of Genesis, let's go ahead and read this, because this guy, he's the first murderer, man. Let's go right here. This book of Genesis 4 and verse 8. And when you go into it, Cain really never got his punishment yet. Yeah, we got the mark of Cain, Esau Edom. He came out red, but he ain't truly got his punishment yet, man. But he know that his punishment is waiting for him, and not only him, your whole nation. It says Cain talked with and Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel and slew him. So Slain slew Abel, man. And he didn't slew him because Abel was a wicked man. No, he slew him because the Lord had favor upon Abel. Abel was a righteous man. But let's continue on. And the Lord Yahweh Shai said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So you did a wicked thing, and ultimately you got smart with the prophets. You got smart with the Lord, man. And he said, why hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So number one, he just proved two things. Just proved that he was a murderer. Now he just proved that he was a liar, man. You know? And this is the guy that's ruling the planet Earth. And he tells us that in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter, as the leader of the people is, so are his officers, man. So if the leader of the city or the president or the king of the whole state, if he's wicked and do unruly things, then guess what? That's going to trickle down into the people. But Yahweh Shema Shai, being so merciful, he have a remnant that's not bowing down into the ways of Babylon, man. That's not bowing down into the ways of Baal, you know? So let's go ahead and continue on Cain and his judgment, though, man. Because ultimately, the children of Cain, which comes in the form of the elites, the Illuminati, for the lack of better words, these people want us to go into the ways of the wicked. But we're not. The Lord said they will not deceive the very elect. So let's go ahead and continue on. It says, and thou, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And yes, man, this guy, he is cursed on the earth, man. Continuing on, when thou tillest the ground, it should not henceforth yield until thee her strength. So yes, you're going to be able to grow strawberries and bananas and things like that, but it's not going to be in the fullness like it was back in the ancient world. Because again, you are wicked. You are not the true rulers of the planet Earth, man. And it's just like a car. I used to have a car, man, old Honda, and I was like the only, you could drive to a certain city and mess up, and I was like the only person that can drive it. That's the same thing with the planet Earth, man. You have to be endowed with the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shai to hold and to rule the planet Earth in righteousness. Because all the heathens got it, Nebuchadnezzar, Cyrus, Xerxes, you know what I'm saying? But the only one who had complete peace ruling the whole planet Earth was Solomon, man. But let's go ahead and continue on. It says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be upon the earth. And this guy, he is a fugitive. Let's just look up a regular Google definition of that word, man. It says a fugitive and a vagabond. There were fugitive, a person who is running away or hidden, usually to avoid arrest, capture, often after committing a crime. Yes, and the crime that he did was murder his brother Abel, introduce homosexuality throughout the whole world. Messed up the patriarchy and made this world a matriarchy. You know what I'm saying? Messed up the land sample, put plastics in the water. It's plastics that you're breathing in the air. Certain chemicals in the food that you eat makes you addicted. The damn doctor office, which ultimately is one of the biggest drug dealers upon the planet Earth, Walgreens. All these things is what he pushed forth throughout the planet Earth. He's committing crimes every day, man. And he's trying to run away from it. And the way he's trying to run away from it is through these different nationalities. He have the Germans, the Switzerlands, some of them they claim Italian. Some of them claim to be Jewish. Some of them claim to be South African. Some of them claim to be Asian. And ultimately you're trying to run away from your true nationality, you being a damn Edomite. Let's get right here in Second Thessalonians, because this is a fugitive is what? Hidden. This is the book of Second Thessalonians 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. Matter of fact, 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And it says that man of sin being revealed, that revealed shows you that it was once hidden, man. And it says the sons of perdition. Now it's three classes of men: the sons of the Most High, which are the Israelites, the Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the ones that are, they don't look like Jake, but they are Jake. The sons of men, which are the heathens, the Moabites, the Chinese, you know what I'm saying, Elam, Indians, all these different people. But it's also the sons of perdition. Now, when you go into the word perdition, it actually goes into destruction because this guy, he have a destructive nature, you know? And ultimately, he's going to get destroyed too. But let's go ahead and continue on. It's going to explain it. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. So he that exalt himself is still going to be abased, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High, still in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Like pictures of Cesare Borgia, nigga Pope Alexander, Pope Alexander the 17th around, I forgot, but he was a pope. He said he's the Most High, and Cesare Borgia, which is his son, saying he's the only begotten son, man, which ultimately was this guy having a God complex, not knowing that the Lord was going to remember that. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. So it was going to be certain signs upon the planet earth which will identify the sons of the perdition. And ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And yes, yeah, it's throughout the process of time, but also in the time of his rulership, because he cannot do nothing but be himself. Perfect example: America. One thing that's synonymous with America is guns. What's synonymous with Esau, the sword, which is nothing but a modern day gun. Again, for the lack of better words, what's associated with white Americans? Bloody meat. And what did Esau sell his birthright for? Some stew that wasn't done, man. And again, ultimately too, what happened with America is associated with going around the whole planet Earth killing people, man. And what is Esau Edom associated with? Or Cain, which is Esau Edom in reincarnation? What? Killing his brother Abel, man. So again, he's being revealed in his time through his actions. He's a liar. Nigga lied about the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? He lied who we were. Saying y'all just African Americans. Y'all was called up, but now y'all just African Americans. He lied about every damn thing. But in this time, he's being revealed. And the reason why is because the truth have full access upon the planet Earth, man. The truth is not being hidden anymore. Let's go in and get this in the book of Ecclesiastes real quick. Let's go to Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiastes, Second Ezra. That's what I want. Second Ezra 6. And we're going to jump down to verse 27. Because again, for years, this guy have been pushing forth wickedness and bullshit. Now the prophets out here on the highways and byways clearing things up and shedding light and identifying the wicked, man. Read this real quick. Second Ezra 6:27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Because deceit have been running rapid upon the planet Earth for years now, man. Centuries. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. So him being revealed in his time is really talking about now, because now is the time that the truth is being declared. The truth, what is Babylon the Great written about? What is Babylon the Great? Who is the whore that's riding upon that beast, man? We have to answer into those questions, man. But let's go ahead and continue on. Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. And this is why he's a fugitive and a vagabond. That word fugitive is somebody who's running away or hiding. That's why it says the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Because even during the Roman Empire, they was doing unsavory things, man. But it wasn't their time. Only he who will not let will let until he be taken out of the way. Continuing on. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, man. And how he's being revealed through the spirit of his mouth, through the prophets who are identifying this guy, man. because nobody match up with Esau Edom except the so-called white man, you know? And be glad, man. You're one of you're one of the best antagonists ever, man. But at the same time, the Lord has created you that way. So let's go ahead and continuing on, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord saying when he's coming back, he's going to consume him with the spirit of his mouth, which is us, telling the truth, prophesying against this devil. But it also says, shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So things are not looking too up for Esau, Edom, or the children of Cain. That's why it tells you back in Genesis 4 and verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Because he know he's going to have to serve out a servitude. He's know that the kingdom of heaven is going to be hard on him. And ultimately, he knew that Obadiah 1 and 18 is going to be his end game. But let's continue on. Behold, thou hast driven me out from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And it's really talking about this knowledge, this truth. That's why the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai is dreadful among the heathen, especially guys like Vocab Malone. Continuing on. And I shall be a fugitive and vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Yeah, because you call reckless, man. And that's why you can see all these other nations is growing some cojones to speak against this place. Even this guy Trump, he just pushed forth these different tariffs upon, the whole world. And a lot of, for lack of better words, they say it was going to be this how he went back on a couple of words, and some people like fuck him because the reason and the way that he's running the planet Earth, man. But guess what? That's the big piece of chicken. It's really the Lord had Esau set up just so the Lord can get him, man. Like you got a big piece of chicken, or you grew some plants, you got a big strawberry or something like that. You say, yeah, there's nobody, you can pick in this garden, but you can't eat this strawberry. I'm gonna eat this strawberry for myself. That's what the Lord is doing with Cain, which is who? The children of Esau, which is the so-called white man. Continuing on. And the Lord Yahweh Shemel shall say unto him that whosoever slay a Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him. Yes, because ultimately, Yahweh Shemel have protection around this guy. That's why anybody who try to fight against the so-called white man, they just bomb you to hell and back. But why? The Lord have set this guy up just so the Lord can take him down. Let's go to Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yes, and that day of evil is ultimately talking about when the missiles drop. You know what I'm saying? But even in the midst of those days, man, even when you go into the Obadiah 1 and 18, the Lord is setting up Esau just so all those things wouldn't be in vain. So you say, Lord, you did that for no reason. No, the Lord can tell you the reason, man. 1776. Look at the 1820s, man. Then the 1900s to the 1940s, the Jim Crow law, man. Look at all the things that this devil have done upon the planet Earth, and he have gotten away scot-free. And he's not getting away scot-free. It's just the Lord building up a tab for this devil, man. That's why he giving him rulership. He giving him substance. He giving him time to rule just so he can glorify his name when he get taken down. Let's go right here in the book of Romans 9, and we're going to get, Romans 9 and let's start at verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the nation of Esau, again, is somebody who the Lord hates. Let's go right here to Sirach 27 real quick. It says, Sirach 27 and 24. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 22. It says, he winketh with his eyes. It's like he that winketh with the eyes worketh evil, and he that knoweth him will depart from him. Yes, stay away from Esau either, man, because he's a cunning devil. Just how he went to Eve and things like that. He know what he doing. When thou art present, he will speak sweetly and will admire thy words. Yes. What's up, buddy? Tap you on the shoulder. Let me buy you a drink, guy. But ultimately, in his mind, he have a sinister plan. But at the last, he will rip his mouth and slander thy sayings. He's nothing but a nigger. I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Now, who is this him? Is this him the same guy in Romans 9 to 13? Yes. Because there's a reason why the Lord hate this guy. Gator bait, abortions, again, microplastics in the damn water, fluoride in the water. He's just a damn poisonous person upon the planet Earth. Continuing on. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. And again, that's how you know that the Lord, he's a balanced power because he deal with righteousness and unrighteousness. For he has said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but of the Most High that sheweth mercy. Now, did Cain show mercy unto Abel? No. So mercy would not be shown unto Cain. It tells us that in the book of James 2, I think it's like 13. Because it could have been any time upon the planet Earth, the elites could have been like, man, we're going to stop it. Y'all ruler, you could pull us in chains now and we can work things out. We sorry. These niggas are too proud for that. Because at the end of the day, your judgment will still have to be worked out, man. The judgment that Cain is getting, the judgment that Esau, Edom is getting, which they are the same people, it has to be worked out, man. And you fit that lot. Those pants fit you. OJ with the gloves, those gloves fit you, Esau. And there's nothing you can do about it. James 2 and 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy. Mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So we're going to rejoice when the Lord judge you, man. Because when we beg for mercy, you made it worse, man. You threw more stones and more coals upon our head, man. So again, the things the Lord have set up for Esau, Edom, and the nation of Esau is well deserved. So let's go back into this Romans 9 and get to the point at verse 17. For this scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So again, he that exalt himself, ultimately you're going to be debased, man. You're going to be brought into a low level. And it tells us this right here in the book of Sirach 27 again. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 25. Whoso casteth a stone on high and causes it on his own head, and a deceitful stroke maketh wounds. Yes, man, you putting your head out in the sky. You got the missiles out there and all these different things, but ultimately this is going to be to your down. Your pride was going to attribute into your downfall. Those missiles going to attribute into your downfall. He so diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Yes, you're going to be very low. Because even, you can say I'm on the ground, but if you on the ground looking up at the floor, you're in a damn pit, man. It says ultimately you're going to be a pit in the kingdom of heaven too. We was dwelling in those shacks. The Lord gonna make you dwell in the pit, and that's justice. Continuing on. He that selleth a trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him. Yes, the mischief of slavery, the mischief of gator bait. You cutting babies out of women's stomachs and killing the babies in the midst while a woman is dying. That's the last thing she seen before she went to the spirit world. And what you think she gonna say to the Most High? Everything was fine down there. No, she was going to complain, just like Abel did, and just like we've been doing through centuries and decades and eons, man. It says it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. And so again, this is why Esau shaking in his boots, because he know that judgment is on his ass, but he don't know when it's coming, man. And we know that it's coming from Yahweh Hashem Shah, but we don't know when. And that's a part of the mystery of iniquity, man. Because when the Lord gonna take this nigga down, man? Let's go ahead and continue on. Therefore, he have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Now the Lord have hardened up Esau, especially when it came towards the children of Esau. I mean, the children of Israel, man. Let's go into the word harden. Skleruno, which means what? To be stubborn, man. And Esau, he is stubborn in wickedness, because even if you introduce righteousness to this guy, guess what? He's gonna, for lack of better words, get even worse. But let's get this word, the root word of it. Scleros, of men harsh, stern, hard, of things violent, rough, offensive, intolerable, man. And that's how the Lord look at this place, America, man. And everything that follow after this place, man, is violent. Niggas die every day, beef. You know, it's rough living out here because you have to uh, hold your tongue. It's offensive unto the Most High because this guy's getting married inside a church. And, this nigga got a Bible in his hand. Men that's supposed to be the standard of righteousness, pastors and preachers and choir directors, they are the most sick in the mind, man. And another word, intolerable, man. And that's a reason why this place have to be destroyed. Intolerable, going back to it, unable to endure, undurable, insufferable, unsupportive. Let's get another one. Unbearable. That's it. It's unbearable living in America, man. And that's why the Lord going to have to destroy this place and ultimately destroy Esau Edom. Continuing on, that will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? And that's how Esau scared too, because he know he can't do nothing that's outside the will of the Heavenly Father, man. And what's in the will of the Heavenly Father? The judgments coming down upon you, whether it be Psalms, the second chapter, Psalms 139, Revelation 17, Revelation 18, Isaiah 47, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, which all those chapters speak about the destruction of Babylon, or they speak about you going into slavery. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 61, which is a peek into the kingdom of heaven, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. We're going to end off on that because these people haven't worked a day in their life, man. These higher ups, these elites, Mortgage, Rothschild, Geddes, all these people, they never worked a day in their life. But it's going to be a total shock for the same people you have beaten down to the ground. You're going to have to work for them. This is the book of Isaiah 60, and I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, "And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee." Now let's get that word minister, man. Because again, this is a part of your judgment, man. Let's see if you're gonna minister us in the way of that pastor and preacher. No, man. Strong's H 83, 84. It says minister, serve, minister to. And ultimately that's what that word minister means, just to serve. I think is in the etymology. That's what I had wanted. Yeah, the word minister meaning servant or attendant, telling you that you're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, man. You have a spot in the kingdom of heaven, but your spot is going to be slave. Your spot is not going to be with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let's see if it's a little bit more on that. Right here, that word minister, man consecrated to serve in the Christian church. That's not it. It's going, because we are ministers in righteousness, but you guys are going to minister us in the way of, being a damn slave. Let's go on from the old French man, stir servant, valet, member of a household staff, administrator, having the songs of Edom. Sang one of those good old country songs of Edom, man. Nigga started saying, he started saying America the Beautiful. Or another one right here. Guess what I wanted? An inferior servant, man. Because in the kingdom of heaven, you're not going to be on top. You're going to be a base. And that's what that word inferior comes from. So yeah, I can just pray that this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle elders, Great Millstone, and Shalom.